What's up guys, my name is Blake and today we're talking about the DJI Mini 2. Let's go. Alright guys, so before I show you the DJI Mini 2 that I just got over Christmas, I'm going to show you the setup that I had before. It was the DJI Phantom 3 Standard. So I'm going to just grab it real quick. This is it. It's pretty huge, big old gigantic hard case bag, and then inside of it we got all the drone and the controller and all the accessories, and everything's just a lot bigger. It's the older drone, the Phantom 3 Standard, that DJI doesn't even make anymore. So like I said, pretty old drone, and it just took a long time to set up, and for a really long time, quite a few years now, I've been wanting to get something better. Since the Mavics started coming out, how they were collapsible and they were smaller but had better flight times and all that stuff, they've just been getting better and better and better and smaller and more compact. The Mini 2 is at a really good price point, so it is much better than the Phantom 3 Standard, and it's a huge upgrade from what I had before. Not to mention, it's like a fraction of the size. Look how small this thing is compared to that. This is everything too. This is the 3 batteries, the charger, the controller, the drone, everything that I need in this one tiny little bag. I throw over my shoulder, take anywhere, throw in a backpack. Even if I want to just carry the drone and the controllers, half this size really. So yeah, much smaller, much more compact. Now talking about the older Phantom 3 Standard right now, that drone shoots at 2.7K video, so that's the highest resolution it goes, and it shoots raw photos and all the different types of stuff. It has a couple of has like a follow me mode and some automated autopilot type of shots, just like every other DJI drone has, and it actually shoots pretty good video. It has always performed really well for me. My biggest thing was how big it is, how long it takes to set up, and there's just a lot of friction for setup time, because when you want to go shoot something, especially if you want to get out and quick, shoot something real quick, get back in, that setup, the Phantom setup, just isn't like the most ideal for that. So yeah, it shoots in 2.7K, it shoots JPEG raw photos, it does all the panoramic photos and stuff. It'll do like the time-lapse mode and all that different type of stuff. So it has a lot of features. It actually has the follow me mode on there, where it'll actually follow you as long as you have the transmitter. You can make it follow you, and as long as you got the transmitter, it'll follow you wherever you go. The speed, I've topped out the speed at like 25-ish miles an hour. So I mean, it moves pretty decent, but nothing like crazy fast. It doesn't have sport mode. This was before sport mode and all that stuff. So yeah, pretty basic, just gets the job done. The Mini 2 in comparison shoots in 4K, so highest resolution for video is 4K. And then you can scale that down too. You can shoot in 2.7K if you wanted to, full HD. Just depends on the project you're going for, the look you're going for, the file size you're going for, and the space that you might have. And then the same thing, JPEG RAW. It's got a bunch of different, they call them quick shots now. There are a bunch of different automated flight modes that you can get different shots with. The speed on this one actually tops out, I've topped it out about 35 miles an hour, and that's about it. But that was also at like 400 feet in the air too, so that was pretty high. Pretty quick, especially for being in that high winds, and for it being that small and light. That's pretty fast for a small little drone. It's got regular mode, what they call normal mode, cine mode, and then sport mode. Obviously sport mode is going to be like your quicker, more snappier actions. The Mini 2 actually has 2 sensors on the bottom side, so it knows how close it's getting to the ground. So if you get too close to the ground, it actually just auto land for you. Phantom 3 Standard doesn't have any kind of sensors at all. And I'm pretty, I mean, that was before they were doing sensors of any kind in any of their drones. Other than that, other than like the basic features type of stuff, obviously they're physically different. The Phantom 3 Standard is much larger than the Mini 2. And then the same thing for the controllers, the transmitters. The transmitter for the Phantom 3 Standard is much larger than the transmitter for the Mini 2. The Mini 2's transmitter is much better, has better features. The thumbsticks or the gimbal parts or whatever you want to call them actually come off, they screw off, unscrew, and then they go into the bottom of the controller. And it uses OcuSync. I can't remember what version of OcuSync, but you can go further and it's much clearer transmission, whereas the Phantom 3 Standard doesn't. That was before OcuSync, and so it just used like this Wi-Fi weird thing, and then it breaks up very easily, which kind of stinks. So you can't go super far with that. The physical differences, like smaller props, collapsible props, just basic obvious kind of no-brainer stuff when you just look at the drone. But for me, it was mainly the Mini 2 shoots in 4K, has all the features I want, even though it doesn't have like a follow me mode like the Phantom 3 Standard did. I'd never use that, and I probably will never use that. It has any type of automated shot mode that I would want. It has that on the drone, and then anything other than that I'll just do manually. And it's small, which is the biggest part of it. So it's collapsible, it folds down into this tiny little package. Everything goes in the bag. And the one cool thing I will add about the Fly More bundle with the Mini 2 is that you actually get like a charging hub, so you can pop all 3 batteries into one hub. And then once it's fully charged, you can actually use that as a power bank to charge your transmitter, which is really cool. Other than that, I can't really think of a whole lot of differences between the two. And obviously they're way different drones, because there was many years between these two drones. So you got Phantom 3 Standard, which is a long time ago, and they don't even make them anymore. And then the Mini 2, which is like the newest version of the Mini series. So like I said, obviously they're going to be different, but I was just pointing out the differences and putting them together, because there are a lot of similarities between the two, between how they function. And it almost was like the Mini 2 was almost like an updated version of the Phantom 3 standard in my mind. It shoots in 4K, it feels about the same. The thing that probably impresses me most, other than the form factor, is going to be the battery performance. The batteries on this little drone are amazing. They're teeny tiny, little Tic Tac sized batteries, but they last forever. And the Fly More bundle comes with 3 of them, so you can fly forever with this thing and not run out of battery, which is awesome. And it does great. The only thing I found is that because it's so light, once you get way high up there, it does have a lot of strong wind warnings because it gets tossed around a lot. There's not much to this body. If you picked it up, it's insanely light. But that's it, guys. That's just my quick little overview of the Mini 2 versus the Phantom 3 standard. I'm gonna be doing like a full in-depth video on just the Mini 2 here pretty soon. So subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you turn on post notifications to all the different type of stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.